Good morning. Good morning. How's Oliver? My cuddly little girl. Yeah. Oh, thank you. Kisses.
Hello. Welcome to another weekly reading vlog. Today is Wednesday, December 9th, and it is around 9:45 p.m. because I didn't even think about filming because I'm so out of practice with vlogs. But, what have I been reading? Oh, so I have to tell you a story, and hopefully this will have been resolved, but either way, I find it entertaining. So, my coworker texted me this morning and said that she got a package from our company, and we had no idea what it could be because nobody in the company said anything like, hey, you're getting a package, this is what it could be. And she's like, did you get one? And I said, no. And she opened it and it was a ham. And the box had like an insignia or our company's logo on it. And I was like, are you sure one of the guys didn't drop it off? And she's like, no, I asked and nobody knows anything about it. And then she texted our boss, and apparently they are sending everyone a ham, but I hadn't gotten one. So I was talking to my mom and I said, I am officially declaring this Hamgate until it arrives on my doorstep, because as of right now it has not, which isn't a big deal, but I was like, part of Hamgate will be if it doesn't arrive, if it goes to another apartment. I do have a lot of pig and ham puns and jokes that I can torture my boss with as compensation. So, sows about that. But yesterday, I was in Leslie's Discord. Her channel is The Nerdy Narrative, and if you don't follow her, you're a bad person. Not really, but you should follow her. And she and Una from the Codex Cantina and Vish from Books with V, I believe is her channel name. I'll link everybody below. They have been doing manga mornings where they're reading a volume of manga every day. And right now they're reading Full Metal Alchemist, which was the first manga I ever got into, and I still absolutely adore it, but I hadn't finished it yet. And it just so happened that the volume they were about to start is the volume that I needed to start. So I decided to participate unofficially, but there's a section, like a channel in her Discord for Full Metal Alchemist, so I've been participating there. I'm reading volumes 13, 14, and 15. It's so nice to be back in this world with the Elric brothers. And I just love this series. It's got humor. It tugs at your heartstrings. It's got an excellent driving plot. And each volume, there's some kind of twist. And it's just so satisfying. So I read 13 yesterday, 14 today, and I'll read 15 tomorrow. And the volumes actually are not that long, and it's manga. So it's been a really nice palate cleanser because I've been reading such heavy fantasy that it's nice to be able to kind of breeze through something and enjoy it. It's a little more light-hearted and literally like lighter. So I've really enjoyed that. And I've also been blowing through Sword of Kaigen. I have about 60 pages left. And some of these aren't even, I have this much left. I have already ugly sobbed twice with this book, and I feel like it's gonna happen again. And things just happened. Like, I'll talk about it in a review because I do want to review this, but like the huge climax kind of happened like 50 or 60-ish% of the way in. And then after that, it's kind of the aftermath. And there's one scene that just happened between our main female protagonist and her husband. And I feel like that was another kind of climax because it had to do with their relationship. And I loved those scenes so much. Like, I hated her husband so much. She was so lonely, and you could feel her loneliness, and it was like 15 years of loneliness because they didn't really talk. It's very cold. And I found that interesting because the magic system in this book is very elemental, and it deals with like ice and snow and water, and I just thought that was such a good mirror for what is going on. I'm not really sure where this is going to end up. We're in the middle of a crisis, and I'm afraid because I don't want any more of my babies to be hurt. So we'll see. But I plan on finishing this tonight. I only have 60 pages, but I have some nice autumn candles going, even though I know it's winter. And I have my book. Lucy's back here. Oliver's somewhere. And I'm gonna finish this, and then I'll check in and let you know my final thoughts. And hopefully I'm not gonna sob my guts out, but I have a feeling that I am. So we'll see. I finished The Sword of Kaigen, and it was so freaking good. I just sat here for a couple minutes when I was done, like, just sat with my feelings and like processing. And then on my earlier video that I posted today, Angela was like, I need you to finish The Sword of Kaigen. So when I was done, I voxered her, and I was like, oh my god, it was so good. I think this is one of my favorite reads of this year. I'm gonna call it now. I loved the story, and it wasn't what I thought it was gonna be, but not in a bad way. And I don't know if you could tell, but I kind of cried at the end. But obviously, 5 out of 5 stars. I'm gonna be screaming about this book. I want everyone to read it now. But it was so lovely and heartbreaking and just beautifully written. And I think it's one of those books that's going to stick with me. And it's definitely one that I do want to reread in the future. I'm going to have to sit in my feelings for a little bit. But if you haven't read this book, go read it. Go read it now. It's beautiful and wonderful, and you're going to love it. And if you don't, you're a terrible person. Not really, but you should read it, for real. I don't know what to do now. I'm gonna go start Dune, and I'll probably read like 2 pages before passing out hard. And I'll check in with you guys tomorrow. morning. It is December 14th around 8:30. And we have a delayed opening for work today because it snowed yesterday. So I realized I did not film any updates this weekend. And my hair is wet. And by the time my hair dries, I'll be at work. So I wanted to film this before I got to the office. But I had a really good reading week this week. I think last time I updated you was the 9th, which was Wednesday, and it's now Monday. So I'm obviously killing it at vlogging. So I think when I updated you last, I had read The Sword of Kaigen, which I'm still just completely enamored with. It's so good. And I know sometimes when you read a book, you have that finished book high, and sometimes your love for it wanes after you've had time to reflect on it. But I still love it. It's one of my favorite books of this year. And obviously I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. I also, I have the bind ups, so I read volumes 13, 14, and 15 of Full Metal Alchemist by Hiromu Arakawa. 5 out of 5 stars. It's so much fun. I'm having a blast. I'm loving being back in this world and following Ed and Al. And I just love the humor in this book. I forgot how funny it is. And I'm just enjoying reading it. And of course, I'm like 4 days behind. I'm supposed to be starting 19 today, and I started volume 16 this morning. But that's okay. I also listened to the 12 Sleighs of Christmas by Jacqueline Frost, aka Brie Baker, aka Julianne Lindsay. It's a cozy mystery series, and I gave that one 4 stars. I listened to it on audio, and it's set on a Christmas tree farm, and it was a nice Christmassy, cozy mystery. I also read Lock and Key Volume 1 by Joe Hill and Gabriel Rodriguez. Graphic horror novels are just not for me. And let me rephrase that. Graphic novels that are in the horror genre are not for me. I have an eye thing. Like, I'm so squeamish about eyeballs, and Lock and Key had a lot of violence, specifically at eyeballs, and it was really hard. Like, I was literally nauseated at the end of that book. And it wasn't a bad story. I actually thought the storyline was, as I drop stuff, was pretty good. I guess that's a sign of a good horror novel. I felt sick reading it. I don't know. And I'm not going to continue it, not because it was a bad graphic novel, just because I feel like on the next one I'll actually get sick instead of just feeling sick. And I gave it 2 stars, but that's just my personal thing. I feel like if you do like horror novels or you're a horror fan, I think you'll really, really like it. And I may up my rating because I feel like 2 stars isn't fair. I don't know. Let me know. I feel guilty giving it only 2 stars. And I just found out that Joe Hill is Stephen King's son, which I didn't realize till I'd already started reading it. I also read The Deal of a Lifetime by Frederick Bachmann. This was a novella. It's like 96 pages. And I don't want to go into it because I feel like I went into this blind, and I think it enhanced my experience, because if I had known what it was about, I might not have gotten what I got out of it, if that makes sense. But it was my first Bachmann. It will not be my last. And I really liked, it was only 96 pages, but the way he wrote it and the scenarios that happened in the story just like hit me in the feels. And it really made me take a step back and look at my life and think about the legacy that I would leave, like if I were to die tomorrow. And I think if you're a parent, I think this would be even more impactful for you. I liked it. I gave it 4 stars. And I wouldn't say it was a fun read. It was just an impactful read. And I definitely recommend it. I also listened to Vanilla Bean by Jenn Mckinley. This is book 8 in the Cupcake Bakery Mystery Series, and I gave that one 4 out of 5 stars. It was really fun. And it was set in Las Vegas, and it had Elvis, or Elvi, as they're called in the book, multiple Elvises, and it was just really fun and cute, and I am really enjoying making my way through that series. I started Guards by Sir Terry Pratchett, and I picked that up solely because of Alan from the Library of Alexandria's video, the reacting to 1-star reviews of his favorite books. He did Guards, and it was one of the funniest videos I've seen in a while. But after watching that, I went and looked to see if he had videos about Discworld, and he does. And I watched his review for Guards, and it immediately made me want to pick it up, because he was like, if you like Monty Python and like the Dead Parrot sketch, you will love this. And I was like, yes, I do. So I started it, and I'm only 15% in, and I've already just cracked up multiple times, and I'm really enjoying it. I love that it opens like the main character goes to a secret society meeting, and he ends up going to the wrong door, and they're like, no, the one you want's 3 doors down that way. And it's just so funny, and he does such a good job with wordplay. He just does such a masterful job with it, and I'm only 15% in, and I'm already in love with it. I started Dune yesterday, and I didn't get very far because my sleep was ridiculous this weekend, and I ended up passing out at like 10. But I'm confused. And I know I'm not alone, because they're reading Dune in Leslie's Discord and in the Shelf Space Discord. And a lot of people said it's confusing at first. Like, Frank Herbert just throws you in the action and is like, have at it. And I don't know what's going on. But I will say it was a really gripping opening chapter. Like, I wanted to find out what was happening, because it started with the Gom Jabber. I'm probably mispronouncing that, but it's like we get to one scene with the box, and it's like, I need to find out what happens. Like, I'm not even emotionally invested in this character, but this is the opening chapter, and I need to know what happens. So we'll see. I'm gonna keep an open mind and keep reading, and hopefully I'll be less confused as time goes on. And I don't want to be that person that's like, I hate Dune. Very, very good reading week. Apparently, I'm leading my team right now in pages, not by much, but I got a notification this morning that apparently I'm a queen. So it's been a good day. Hope you guys are having a great start to your week, and remember to be safe and wear a mask. And I will talk to you guys next time. Bye.